I obtained the nursing flow chart. I obtained the physician's report. I obtained the log kept by the doorman in our building. Paramedics arrived for Mr. Dunn at 9:20 p.m., the log reads. Mr. Dunn taken to the hospital at 10:05 p.m. The distance from our apartment to New York Cornell is 6 crosstown blocks. I do not remember sirens. I do not remember traffic. When I got out of the ambulance, the gurney was already being pushed inside. I noticed everyone was in scrubs. There was one man who was not in scrubs. Is this the wife? He said to the driver. Then he looked at me. I'm your social worker. And I guess that was when I knew. Life changes fast. Life changes in the instant. You sit down to dinner and life as you know it ends. The question of self-pity. Those are the first words I wrote after it happened, but after that I'm a writer. But after that I didn't write anything for a long while. Maybe I didn't mention this before. But New York Cornell is not our first hospital of the evening. Our first hospital of the evening is Beth Israel North, you know. The one that used to be Doctor's Hospital across from Gracie Mansion, where our daughter has been in an induced coma since Christmas night in the 6th floor ICU with what began as the flu and is now septic shock. Another case of the wrong hospital from my point of view. But just try telling an adult child that the easiest emergency entrance on the Upper East Side does not necessarily add up to the right hospital. Try telling her anything once they've sedated her for the endotracheal tube. Must you always be right? John said when we fought, which was often. Must you always have the last word for once in your life? Just let it go. When he comes back, he has a sub-teen in a white coat with him. He introduces the sub-teen as your husband's doctor. There is a silence. I hear my own voice. What I hear it saying is this. He's dead, isn't he? The doctor looks at the social worker. It's okay, the social worker says. She's a pretty cool customer. They take me to the room, a cubicle, where he is. They ask if I want a priest. I say yes. The priest comes, the priest says the words, I thank him. They give me the silver clip in which John kept his driver's license and credit cards. They give me the cash from his pocket. They give me his watch. They give me his cell phone. They give me a plastic bag in which they say I will find his clothes. I thank them. The social worker asks if there's anything more he can do for me. I say he can put me in a taxi. He does. I thank him. He asks if I have money for the fare. I say I do. The cool customer. He uses that word, the fare. Wouldn't it have been more colloquial to have said the taxi? Do you have money for the taxi? Wouldn't that have been less troubling? Less as if I was taking some sort of mystery tour? On most surface levels, I would seem rational. To the average observer, I would appear to know that death is irreversible. I've authorized an autopsy. I've arranged a cremation. Still, he does not look like he needs to be dead. He's pale, and there's a chipped tooth from the fall, but he's wearing faded jeans and a checkered shirt and a navy blue blazer from Sills, and he does not necessarily look dead. Well, if he doesn't even look dead, he's doing his part. There must be more than I need to do. There must be more to this bargain than I know. More arrangements. It occurs to me that one of these arrangements would be planning a funeral. This funeral part will not be easy with Q in a coma. She was christened Quintana, but we always called her Q or Kuru. When she was 16, at the Westlake School for Girls in Holmby Hills, John gave her a red car with the plate Kuru. You're safe, I say. I'm here. I say that every time I walk into the ICU. I've been saying it to her all her life. The first time I said it was at St. John's Hospital in the nursery the day she was born. We brought her home and we put her in the bassinet overlooking the point with the cave where the sea ran in. If the tide was right and you caught a swell of clear water, you could swim into the cave. After we brought Quintana home, we never did it. The obituaries are already on the wires. We tell the resident on duty in the ICU that the television in her room had to be turned off. The resident said that television news could help maintain mentation in unconscious patients. We say her father has died. It's a news story. She cannot be allowed to learn from CNN that her father is dead. The television is turned off. When we come back in the evening, it's on again. We say it again. The next day, when I walk into the ICU, there's a sign taped up. Dead father, no TV.